I'm the king of rock. There ain't none higher. Sucker MC, you call me sire. To burn my kingdom, you must use fire. I ain't stopped rocking till I retire. That's right. Pika, you got me going with some old school. It's time once again for the golden age of DC Comics, 365 days, where we take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to us about 2 decades ago by one of our best friends. This has been surfing our coffee table ever since, and provided us with a constant source of comic book shop style conversations, the kind we wish to recreate today here with each other at this coffee table. What goes better with a coffee table book and some coffee table talk? Well, pull up a chair to the coffee table and bring a cup of whatever it is, and let me know what you're sticking under your nose here. Oh, I need more coffee, but it's good and hot and fresh and delicious. There's a button at the top of my banner where I get my coffee. You can get your own. Hello. See, this is when I use a French press, so you can't grind the beans too finely. They should look like kosher salt and not sand, because this is what happens. The sand gets oversaturated and it becomes hard to pass through. And so I got all the coffee I could out of my French press. Sláinte, skål. Genki. Cheers. Salud to your health. We take this 365 days book produced by Abrams, a 2004 book that was written and curated by Les Daniels and Chip Kidd and photographed by Geoff Spear. We take this 365 days book for its intended purpose. We're going to open up to today's date, which is January the 3rd. We're going to look at some comic book art of an antediluvian age. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. We're going to ditch this book sometime soon. I'm going to redo January, maybe even February. Let's see how far we can legitimately take this. I mean, we covered this last year, to be honest, and just to let you know, from us, the production team, the production here in our Boston studios. Let's see. How the best daily comic book talk from the playlist. Let's look at the playlist real quick here. And on January 3rd last year, the video I made ran 5 minutes and 27 seconds long, and it had 10 views. We probably already much got to that point right here, right now, today. Isn't that true, Pika? Thank you very much. You're a big part of this team. You too, Drinka. Indeed. And so are you. You are the most important part of this show. Tuning in, being part of this conversation. I'm always loving catching my own live chats when I can. It's good to see these people show up to your own show, and we talk comic books, and also the comments too. So keep it coming. Hit that share button. Let people know about where we are and what we're talking about. Invite your friends. 3 o'clock U.S. Eastern daily. We talk comic books. If you think they're cool enough, bring them aboard with us. Awesome. So let's get to it. I hope that you are clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. I mean that. It's true. I mean, but yeah, so we're going to do a relook at the month of January using this book. And I think it'll be fun. Seriously, because we've come a long way in our little show. We've gotten a format down. We've gotten a rapport. We've established the tenets of our conversation in a way. So without further ado, let's get to it. Oh, cool! This is art by Bob Kane, and this is from the cover of Detective Comics number 27, May of 1939. And this is the famous Batman, indeed, of Detective 27, the big premiere of the man, the myth, the legend, and also currently DC's #1 selling comic book. He's dethroned Superman, currently. Exactly, huh? Those big wings made their initial appearance on this cover, Batman's first public appearance, but artist Bob Kane dropped them immediately in favor of a distinctly styled cape. That idea, along with many others, came from the writer Bill Finger, who was Kane's unofficial and uncredited collaborator from The Dark Knight's first story on. Finger's earliest suggestions also include the pointed ears, the gray costume, the gloves, and the enigmatic empty eyes. The origin story in which Batman became a vigilante after his parents were murdered was also written, you guessed it, by Finger. He was the unsung hero Bob Kane acknowledged after Bill Finger's death. Yeah, we have a rooftop. We've got, we've got a gangster. See, we've established that the gangsters wear those kind of fedora hats and are very dapper and have these smart-looking pinstripe suits. So that was just very iconic of the movies of the time and of the crime fiction. So you could tell he's a gangster. He's in a suit. He's got a fedora hat, and he's got a .45 automatic. When anyone respectable carries a revolver, it's true. And yeah, it's kind of about it. We're gonna talk about something we brushed upon yesterday. We were looking at last month's newest issue of Batman number 130. Actually, 131 comes out today, and I'll go pick that up tomorrow, sometime this week. Yeah, I'll check it out. It's got a Robin backup story. This one has a backup story as well, and it's really cool. But we were looking at the indicia yesterday, the fine print. Let's do it again. Because it's a comic book. It's a comic book show, and we show off comic books. So yes, the indicia, the fine print, Batman 130, February 2023, published monthly, DC Comics, 4200 Warner Boulevard, Building 7, second floor, Burbank, California. Blah blah, woof woof. And so notice it doesn't have a volume number. So I was thinking, like, which volume of Batman is this? I correctly remembered that this would be volume 3 of Batman. And now these volume numbers are pretty mutable by modern standards, by getting another example of but by the publisher themselves. I mean, issue numbers aren't as much, but the volume number is. So, such as, this is the third volume, so this had an issue 1. We're currently up to issue 131 as of today, okay? And originally, Batman, the comic book, ran from 1940 until 2011, when the New 52 began. And so that ran issue 1, a Batman, from spring of 1940, not Detective Comics number 27 in his introduction, but a year later came Batman issue number 1, which also had the debut of Joker and the Cat, who became Selina Kyle, Catwoman. So but the Batman comic book started spring of 1940, issue number 1, and ran up until issue 713. While there was also a gimmick issue called the Zero issue, released in 1994, and a issue number 1,000,000, which was set in the 853rd century. What if the first issue of Action Comics 1, Action Comics 1,000,000 would be published in the 853rd century. It was a really interesting wine light event called DC 1,000,000. So in 1998, Batman got an issue number 1 million. And that was for the event. And it showcased the Batman of the far future. Really cool stuff. So that's basically 715 issues in the first volume, not counting annuals, by the way. I didn't count any annuals. Should I? I mean, no, I don't think so. I mean, not with the numeration of the title going forward. Okay, so in 2011 comes the New 52, which was basically all Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, that's an impressive run. It went on for about 5 years, almost 5 years, and that was one of the most impressive. It was one of the hallmarks, if not the hallmark, of DC's New 52 publishing initiative by changing the universe, rolling back the clocks, and giving the whole thing, the whole shebang, the whole DC universe a reboot. That one, 52 issues. And again, including an issue number 0. That came out in 2012. The line wide, every issue got an issue 0. What's an issue 0? An issue 0 is... it's basically a new tale told in the past. It brings up retcons so it can tell new stories set in the quote-unquote now. So it usually includes its origin story. It's a great jump-on spot for a new reader. It comes from the early 90s. DC Comics did something called 0 Hour Crisis in Time, a literal sequel to Crisis on Infinite Earths. And every issue had, you guessed it, a 0 issue. This primer, this origin spot where a new reader can jump on. They can get filled in pretty PDQ, pretty darn quick. They get the origin story, we get all the characters, and we are introduced to a new element that's going to be part of the story going forward. So it will bring in a new reader, and hopefully will keep the new reader with these other elements. So the New 52 went basically 53 issues, not counting annuals or crossovers from the Batman family, because they had a huge Batman plays very well with his family, and so you could have a mini event just in the 6 titles of the Batman family. You had Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, and whoever else is floating around too. There's usually 1 or 2 other, Batwoman. There was Gotham Central, which was a police procedural set in Gotham City. Human cops versus supercrime. Really interesting. Good stuff. So let's call that 53 issues. And then this current edition we have, and that was definitely New 52, that was volume 2 of Batman, okay? Okay, and I hope you're following me so far. So now we're on volume 3, because after the rebirth happened in 2016, Batman got a new number 1 issue and a new volume. So this makes it volume 3, even though it doesn't say it in the indicia here in this issue. This is volume 3 of Batman. And so by my count, okay, and also during New 52, there was a gimmick called Villains Month, or a Month of the Villain, Year of the Villain, or something like that, where Batman got issue 23. There was issue 23.1, 0.2, 0.3, and 0.4. They were released every week, and each one focusing on a different member of Batman's rogues gallery, one of his villains, Penguin, Joker, and whatnot. So those were 3 additional issues to the New 52. So now we're up to 56 issues of volume 2 of Batman. That's including the 0 issue and the points 2, 3, and 4 of issue 23. Cool. All right, now we have 131 issues of the new volume of Batman. We're not counting annuals, tie-ins, or specials. This is leading me with a grand total of 902 issues of Batman. This is going somewhere, because in 98 issues from today, Batman will celebrate its issue 1000. And that is a landmark of landmarks. And you could foresee going back to the volume 1 numbering It's happened before. It happens again. Marvel Comics actually has a really ingenious way. I don't have any Marvel Comics to show you. I don't buy. I try not to buy Marvel Comics anymore. There's a story there somewhere. I'll tell it on a different video, and that is a story for another day. But Marvel will have, like, in their box where it has the price and the date, they will have the issue number, but also it'll have a legacy number, and the legacy number would be, it's like, so you have issue number 3 or legacy number 637, something like that, because Marvel likes making new issues number 1 because they sell. They do. That's the marketing has its proof of the sales numbers. These issues number 1, they sell out. Let's talk about issues 5. Not so much. But also it's the collectability of an issue number 1. It's variant cover. It's, there's a whole thing to it. I mean, seriously. So let's use this as an example. We have the current issue of Flash. This is issue number 789. But is this volume 1? It is now. It's returned to volume 1. It must have. Let's look at the indicia. Does it say it? I don't think it's going to say volume 1 because it's kind of not. But it's returned to its original numbering. It has. So this is Flash 789, all right? Well, volume 1 of the Flash, it started with with Jay Garrick, our Flash of the Golden Age. They had Flash Comics, all Flash Comics. Well, Flash Comics picks up in the Silver Age. After showcase number 4 in 1956, Barry Allen continues the issue numbers from the Flash, the original Flash. So it was, I think, let's look up Barry Allen real quick here. The Flash, Barry Allen. He premiered in showcase number 4 of 1956. But his first issue, let's see. And thank you, Pika, for having these notes available to us at such a convenient thing. Yeah, it was when issue number 105. So Flash number 104 was where Jay Garrick's title got canceled. The first issue of Flash with Barry Allen was number 105, resuming where Flash Comics had left off. This series, this volume 1, will continue until issue number 350. And that ends right before Crisis on Infinite Earths in about 1986. Because after that, his Flash Barry Allen dies. Spoilers! Oh gosh! It's a 40-year-old comic book. Flash sacrifices himself to save the multiverse, or the universe at this point. And so his kid Flash, Wally West, is the first hero to take up the mantle of his fallen, is the first teen sidekick to take up the mantle of the fallen hero. Wally West now becomes the Flash, and his issue 1 in 1987 began a volume 2. And that volume 2 goes up until at least, I think, issue 230 or so. And then there was some really kludgy shit going on. You had tried to make Bart Allen the Flash for a new volume that didn't go to like 12 issues until they aged him up and killed him off and brought back the Wally West numeration. And then comes, later on comes the New 52. And that is a new number 1 issue. And so that starts off its own number 1. It's volume 3 by now. Maybe even volume 4. Because technically the issue 1 of Bart Allen's Flash number 1, I think it was by DeLeo and Bilson, that was its own volume. So this could be Flash volume number 4, for all I know. I could be looking at... Pika, you could be looking this up. But whatever, because it doesn't matter. Kind of not, because if you've added all those volumes together, you've come back to this, the legacy numbering, and they went back to it. Just one day. Like, I think Wonder Woman does that as well. Wonder Woman has had a few different volumes. Between George Perez's volume 2 in the mid-'80s, her New 52, then Rebirth, And so Wonder Woman has gone back to her original numberings as well. So these, these evergreen golden agey IPs, they'll be coming up on their issues 1000 very soon, and that's going to be a huge event. And it's going to be, issues 1000. I mean, Action Comics had a 1000. Detective Comics had their 1000. So Superman's going to be having his 1000 very shortly. Batman will be having his 1000 very shortly. If you think 12 issues a year, on a monthly basis, sometimes they go bi-monthly, or is it bi-weekly? But sometimes you get a few extra issues. Let me know in the comment section. Please correct me on that one. I'm seeking your knowledge on that one. Is it bi-monthly or bi-weekly? I think it's bi-weekly. That means every 2 weeks. And or you get something like issue 23.4 and you get an issue a week. I mean, Spider-Man did that for a while too. You got 3 issues of Spider-Man a month. Talk about wholly inflated issue numbers, Batman. Spider-Man could be, Spider-Man has his own new volume 1, and he's continually going back to his original legacy numbering as well. But as I said, Marvel offers you both numbers. The legacy numbering for us old fans, and the new numbers 1 to perpetuate the money machine and keep those cash registers humming, huh? Yeah, so well, look at that. We've gotten some comic book conversation out of last year's stuff already, huh? Well, I'm loving this. Yeah, so yeah, we talked about Batman today. Today's art was from the cover of of Detective Comics number 27, the premiere of Batman. But also, in a couple of years, Batman will be coming up on his issue number 1000. I'll be there for that. I'm in for that. I love that kind of stuff. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And please like and subscribe. We make daily content here. 3 o'clock p.m. U.S. Eastern daily. We talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So please keep tuning in. We'll keep making it. We'll keep continuing our conversation about comic books. Thank you so very much. We will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.